Sovs.
Oi oi, you shiny metal magpies. Welcome to Brits and Sovs, the channel where we don't muck about, we weigh in. If it's round, golden, got a monarch's mousse on it, and makes your nan gasp when you show it at Christmas, we're all over it. We rate them, value them, break down their history, and chuck in a bit of East End cheek while we're at it. So grab yourself a brew, put your feet up, and relax. 'Cause today, me darlings, we're talking about a real diamond in the sovereign scene. The 2017 plain edge sovereign, graded MS70, the kind of coin that makes grown men cry and dealers twitch. But before we dive in, here's a little warm-up for your funny bone. What do you call a bunch of coins in the freezer? Cold, hard, cash. Right, now we're minted and mildly amused. Let's crack on. Now, before we dive in, let me clear something up, because you might have heard of PF70 before, yeah? That's the proof standard, specially struck polished dies, fancy finish. But MS70, that's a whole different kettle of shiny fish. MS70 means mint state, a business strike coin, never meant to be a proof. Graded absolutely perfect. No marks, no scuffs, no spots. Just pure clean perfection, straight off the press, as if the Queen herself handed it to you with white gloves on. And it's rarer than a happy Chelsea fan in May, because unlike proofs, business strikes get knocked about. So getting a perfect 70 on one of these, that's like finding a Fabergé egg in a charity shop. This beauty ain't just a coin, it's a tribute to 200 years of golden history. Born in 1817, reborn in 2017, and smoother than a geezer trying to chat up a barmaid at last orders. No edge milling, no frills, just a glorious slab of 22 carat swagger that says, yeah, I'm rare, now take a picture. And don't go anywhere, because we're going to break it down, shine it up, have a laugh, and by the end, you'll be dreaming of holding one in your mitts. Let's get into it. Right, so let's start with what makes this beauty so special. I'm talking about the design, and not just any old scribble. We're talking pure gold artistry from a bloke called Benedetto Pistrucci. That name's so fancy, it sounds like a dessert you order on holiday. I'll have the tiramisu and the Pistrucci, cheers. But let me tell you, this geezer knew what he was doing. Picture it, St. George, our dragon-slaying hero, riding in on a muscly stallion, cloak flapping like he's in an action movie, sword raised, dragon snarling underneath. You got veins on the horse, sweat on the dragon's snout, and St. George looking like he's just clocked last orders at the pub and he ain't taking no prisoners. And all that detail, crisp as a fresh £50 note and twice as tasty, is lovingly hand-finished, in frosted relief, popping out like it's about to leap off the coin and start a fight in the kebab shop. The background, mirror-like feels, proper glossy, like your uncle's bald head after a bank holiday sunbathe. But here's the real kicker, yeah? This ain't just the regular proof. It's plain edge, baby. That means no milling round the side. None of that, look at me, I've got lines like a zebra. Nah, this edge is smooth, clean, elegant, like the coin's wearing a Savile Row suit and saying, you don't need flash when you've got class. Now, if you're new to coins, you might be thinking, Dave, why does that matter? Let me break it down for you. Back in 1817, when the sovereign made its grand comeback after the Great Recoinage, the earliest prototypes didn't always have milled edges. Some were smooth. The 2017 plain edge is a tip of the hat to that original era, a nod to the granddaddy of them all. It's like the sovereign went and got himself a tailored throwback, retro, but in a James Bond in Goldfinger kind of way. And then, mate, we get to the MS70 part. That's not just good, that's perfect. In the world of business strike coins, that's like getting a Michelin star, a knighthood, and a round of applause from your nan all at once. No scratches, no fingerprints, no smudgy thumbprints from Dave in Quebec, who had a bit too much lunch. Just sheer, unfiltered golden perfection. Right, let's talk mintage. Embrace yourself, because this is where things get proper juicy. They only minted 1,817 of these beauties worldwide. Not a random number, nah, it's a tribute. 1817 was the year the original modern sovereign was born, so the Royal Mint went and said, let's do 1,817 to mark 200 years. Job done. That's class. And to top it off, Adisa struck on the day piece, SOTD they call it. This one was pressed on the 1st of July 2017, bang on the bicentenary of the Royal Proclamation that gave us the sovereign we all know and love. That ain't just rare, that's symbolic. It's like the Royal Mint set their alarm clock for history and said, strike it now, lads. You could fit every owner of this coin in a small theatre and still have room for a brass band, a chip van and Prince William narrating the interval, compared to the bog standard bullion sovereigns that get churned out by the hundreds of thousands like sausage rolls at Greg's. This is exclusive. I'm talking VIP pass at Buckingham Palace. Exclusive. You don't just stumble across one of these in your nan's biscuit tin. These get snapped up faster than free samples at Costco. And here's the thing, coin collectors, yeah? We're a weird bunch. We love things that are rare, shiny, and preferably old enough to have seen Queen Victoria in her bloomers. But this coin's got something else. It's modern, it's pristine, and it's backed by history. It ain't just rare, it's meaningfully rare. Every one of those 1,817 is like a golden time capsule with a bit of Royal Mint swagger sprinkled on top. Let's not forget, this coin came out in a year already packed with action. 2017 was madness. You had Prince Harry pop the question to Meghan Markle. Fidget spinners were flying off shelves and Big Ben went silent for refurb. The poor sod had been ringing non-stop since 1859 and finally got a break. And in the middle of all that, Royal Mint steps out and drops this golden bombshell like, here you go, have some history. And let me tell you, it ain't just coin nerds like me banging on about this one. Dealers are still trying to source them, collectors are hoarding them, and those who've got one, they're polishing it like Gollum in a Hatton Garden showroom. Why? Because in Coinland, this one ticks all the boxes. Low mintage, check. Historic tribute, check. MS70 grade, check. Edge variant nobody saw coming, double check. It's like the sovereign equivalent of a unicorn riding a Harley. Right, so let's talk about the collector mindset, yeah? Because buying a coin like this ain't just about throwing money at shiny things. It's about strategy. It's about having the instincts of a city trader, the eye of a hawk, and the emotional stability to not scream every time gold dips £3 overnight. See, when you buy something like the 2017 Plain Edge MS70, you ain't just buying metal, you're buying narrative. This coin tells a story. It whispers, I'm rare, I'm regal, and I've got 200 years of history in my DNA. It don't shout, it don't need to. It's the coin equivalent of walking into the boozer, wearing a three-piece suit, and everyone just nodding. Like, yeah, he's someone. Now, value-wise, here's the meat and potatoes. Back in 2017, you could have grabbed one of these for a few £100 direct from the mint, but try finding one now. Go on, I dare you. Prices have crept up like your gas bill, and collectors ain't letting go of them without a fight. We're talking £1,500 to £2,000 territory, depending on the slab, the label, and whether the previous owner kept it in a velvet pouch or their underpants drawer. And that's just the start. Coins like this, they don't follow trends. They set them. Give it a few more years, and this sovereign's going to be up there with the greats. It's got all the hallmarks, limited run, historic homage, flawless grade, and let's be honest, it just looks flipping gorgeous. But here's a cheeky tip from Dave. It ain't just about the coin, it's about the label too. Some come with them special 200th anniversary designations or NGC exclusive royal blue slabs. You flash one of those and suddenly you're not just collecting, you're curating a legacy, mate. So yeah, if you're sitting there with one of these in your stash, give it a wink tonight. You made a proper move. And if you ain't got one, might be time to flog that air fryer or cancel Just Eat for a month. Let's talk design legacy, shall we? Now I've banged on about how Pistrucci's masterpiece looks like St George's riding into battle after 6 pints and a curry. But what makes it truly timeless is how it's lasted through centuries of monarchs, wars, recessions, fashion crimes and political belly flops. That same heroic scene, sword out, cloak billowing, dragon getting clarted, it's been on sovereigns for over 200 years. That's staying power. That's like the Rolling Stones of coin design. Now, when you stack the 2017 Plain Edge MS70 next to other sovereigns, it don't just hold its own, it stands tall and winks at you. Compared to regular bullion versions, this one's like comparing a tuxedo to a tracksuit. And even against other proof sovereigns, it still flexes. The Plain Edge gives it that clean, classy, I don't need gimmicks look. Like James Bond in a tailored suit, Sharp, smooth, deadly. And here's the thing, mate. The older it gets, the better it looks. You keep this slabbed up and tucked away, and it's going to be sitting pretty for decades. It ain't just a coin, it's a family heirloom in the making. One day, your grandkid will go, "What's that, Grandad?" And you'll say, "That, my boy, is a sovereign so posh he could outdrink the royal family." So what's the takeaway, huh? If you own one, you got a crown jewel in your collection. If you don't, well, maybe now's the time to start saving, cut back on kebabs, skip the bookies, sell that old treadmill you ain't touched since lockdown. Whatever it takes. Because coins like this, they don't come around often. And when they do, you better believe they get snapped up quicker than a seagull nicking chips. Anyway, I better leg it. The wife's storming in like a bull in a bullion shop. Apparently, I spent the food budget on another slabbed sovereign, and now she's threatening to list me on eBay with minor scratches, no returns. I'm off before she cracks open the scale and starts weighing me worth in scrap. So, if you liked what you heard today, smash that like button like it's the Royal Mint pressing out a new die. Hit subscribe and give that bell a tickle so you don't miss the next bit of East End coin wizardry. Drop a comment below if you own one of these beauties, or if you're dreaming of the day you will. This is East End Dave signing off from Brits and Sovs. Stack high, stay golden, and never forget, if it ain't MS70, it's just a shiny circle. Laters.